Hello.
Today, I think Sherry and I have been doing a lot of time going deeper into what we want to call reconnection. And I think one of the things that we've experienced is what everybody experiences when it comes to connection is the disconnection that you create by thinking. We looked at our connection from all of the lenses that we've experienced over the years. And what we started to realize is that the relationship to the connection was what we wanted to achieve. The thing about it, this connection didn't care. It didn't care about any rules that we were trying to create. It didn't care about all of the thought processes we wanted to make and show up. So what's interesting about this is that we experience connection just like everybody else does, except our connection to ourselves and a connection to one another doesn't require rules. My attraction to Sherry, how I feel about Sherry, ultimately is how I feel about myself. And I think what we're coming into with all of these changes and all of these things that we're experiencing, we've realized and we're hearing much at a higher volume or a higher frequency. We're hearing, why can't I be with my twin? Why can't I have this? Why can't want and need are your thoughts. The connection does not care about your thoughts, does not care about your want and needs, because the connection remains. And most of you struggle with that. And in that resistance, you end up finding yourself and against more so on the outside condition of what you have in this connection. We understand the struggle. We listen to the pain. We listen to runners and chasers running and chasing their own pain, or the way that they make things absent when there's never truly anything absent in this connection, because it's an inside connection that needs no outside interference. Unfortunately, we come into this human condition and we experience all the things outside of us while the voice remains on the inside of us as a whisper.
I think we want to first be clear on this isn't a relationship.
It's wants to be a relationship because you need something that will be more tangible to your mind and your thought processes in this connection.
We try to make it a relationship because we live in a 3D world, and 3D relationships give us those 3D emotions and feelings that we
fulfillment.
Yes, in the 3D.
Yeah.
In the 3D world. So we search for the giddy feeling, and then it goes away. So we search for the giddy feeling, and then it goes away. And then we search for the giddy feeling, and then it goes away. And then we search outward or outside the relationship. I meant to say for more giddy, and it runs rampant.
I think we really truly understand seeking this outside experience in this connection, but what we want to discard is the inside experience. So we keep trying to feed the outside to the inside, and that's not the way you feed the world. You feed the world from inside out. And the struggle often comes into what the mind is trying to convince you is the truth. Where inside you know the truth. You know you're connected to everything. It's just that this connection has a stronger frequency, stronger vibration. And when that happens to you, something shifts inside of you when you pay attention on the inside rather than the out. We're not here to change your belief system. We're here to point you where your belief system began. We know that on the inside there is this voice that endures all of the different things, and it has nothing to do with the soul. The soul just watches. If you were in the soul and watched your own thoughts and saw how it was interacting with of itself, it would show you what you do to the outside of it. Mm. Sometimes the soul has the ability to come through, and it usually comes through the body because the mind doesn't want to listen to what the body says. That, by definition, is ego. When you label and place content where it doesn't belong.
I think we see a lot of it, especially in the groups and with clients that they try to merge.
Yes.
They try to merge, and it becomes very frustrating and very confusing.
I think when we've been doing our coaching program and we go really deep into emotion and we talk about relationships and we talk about all of the mirroring that is done in relationships, because the mirroring effect is always going to be about a thought process that you have deep inside and it attracts the other person. And then this connection comes along and it just makes the relationship less than somehow. We both feel this is the struggle. Because what originates from inside is built upon a story, which is built upon the storyteller and the ego's ability to tell the story. And how many people will say, I'm sorry? How many people will say, oh, this sounds horrible? How many people will say, you've lost your mind? All of those judgments are judgments that come from outside of you to the inside, where the inside makes sense. This was never your purpose. If you've experienced a soul connection of any kind, the connection point is trying to get you to see that you could just experience it as you should experience it. We understand the part of the things that have kept you stuck in time. And what I mean by being stuck in time is those moments where you didn't forgive when you should have. It altered your choices. It altered what you see and how you experience and what you do to yourself on the inside that disconnects you, which keeps you from connection. It takes great patience to listen to that. And it takes great love. Love is not the ability to crush someone. Love is the ability to release them in it, to give them the space to be. In the same vastness that we have a universe is the same vastness of where love was created. Not because of all of the sounds and all of the thoughts that could show up. Those are the distortion in what you're listening to on the inside of this connection. We call it static. Mm. And when you have static in love, you have static in connection. Static are all of the thought processes that you've generated over time, and time is the issue. You've accumulated time and not accumulated love. That's huge. And, when Sherry and I were talking about doing this video, we were talking about what it means to really truly be free. Not free from all the things that keep you from abundance in love, but all the things that keep you from abundance of anything. Mm. You look through it like a telescope and you see the universe through one eye, and then when you see it through both eyes, you see how vast it is, and you don't even fathom how much you're seeing and how much you're a part of it. This was never meant to be who you are on this planet. You are more. Nobody on the outside of you can tell you that. Nobody should reduce you down to a story of what you're telling, because you are always more. In our connection, we are experiencing greater healing all the time. And it means more to us than anything to be able to share this with you, and how we do the videos and how we do Relationship Reinvented, and how we've created this big, huge family or network of family that understands this truth. We get it. It's time to go deeper. But deeper doesn't mean become further away from consciousness, it means going to consciousness and realizing the unconscious actions that we can demonstrate as being human beings.
That was deep. I'm just letting him roll. He's
A minute.
in it.
I also realize that it is very hard to be more conscious when you're consciously paying attention to the story that wants you to gravitate more to unconsciousness. If you can gravitate more to unconsciousness, you will make others or find others who will be unconscious with you, and you will do unconscious actions. That needs to stop.
Misery loves company.
And company loves misery.
Mm-hmm. And what happens is you get lost in that, and then you find others to follow that. So now you have others following you in your misery.
Which always points to disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
Never connection.
Never connection.
You may be connected and or unified in what you think others should follow. But in united consciousness, you follow the inner path. One filled with, I don't think I even need to say anything after that, because anything I say after that somehow is not going to measure or even give you the truth. You know this truth deep within you. You've always been connected. You know that there is a way, that you've found this spot right here that keeps you from being disconnected. And of course I pointed to the mind, because the mind has the ability to close your third eye. Not ever allowing you to see the truth. You are a greater consciousness when you really choose to be. Your greater intelligence in you knows this. Your heartbeat, your lungs filling with air, your experience in being can't be measured down to what you think. And when you look at somebody and go, why aren't they choosing me? You're not seeing you haven't chosen yourself. Who would you become if you chose you first? And allowed yourself to just love anyway. Most love anyway. Well, what's that? Well, loving anyway means that you don't make things into a problem. When you're connected to someone, you're connected. That doesn't mean that they're finding another connection someplace else. It means you're connected. It means that you're always going to be connected. It's just you want rules to what the connection is going to give you.
It really does mean that. It really does mean that. It doesn't mean that whatever they're doing with their spouse or with their significant other or on social media or at work, whatever they're doing with whoever they're doing it with means nothing
To the connection.
to the connection.
I like that.
Yeah. So what happens is we make it into something. He was holding her hand. They were playing in the park. They were whatever. They were having dinner. Well, people got to eat.
Right? And what you want to say is, oh, close my heart. Don't open it up to what I'm seeing.
But they're not choosing me. They're choosing them. Well, we have a whole video on that. But anyway, it does nothing to the connection. Nothing to the connection. It's much more peaceful of an existence. It's much more peaceful of a 3D life just to sit back and find that connection. Uh-oh.
Oh, you said it. There's no uh-oh.
Oh.
You said it. You're looking, if you're searching for non-peace in this connection, don't worry, you'll find it.
That's right.
She
And
said,
you'll stay in it. You'll stay in
oh
non-peace.
my gosh. And
You'll stay in it.
And it will
Why?
become,
Why?
it will become your life's drama.
Yeah.
And then you have something that you think is replacing them. It's replacing it with drama. The drama is always going to be something that you can invest in, because what do you have? You have nothing but time. What if you're wrong? We learned that some things that happen in this connection, when it comes to unconsciousness, can end your life. And it was never the point. And it doesn't mean the connection goes away. It doesn't mean that all of this stuff gets wished away. What it does is it strengthens the truth that you're connected. Just as nature intended. Your purpose in being is on purpose. So when you end up going and experiencing all of these different things on the outside of you, to include whether you're interacting with a family member, you're interacting with a friend, or you're on Facebook and you're interacting in a group and you see the setting where there should be peace, but you're seeing somebody not in peace. Create space. Their universe is not as dim as it may seem. It's just the energy of what they're allowing their thoughts to give them are betraying them. You are helping them betray themselves. Matters nothing. Matters not. Matters to a point of helping them be validated so they can continue the same story and they can continue the same drama. For who? When you're left alone with your thoughts, that's what you're left alone with. And then you can play the role of what alone represents. Mm-hmm. You're not an actor playing in a movie. You're not an actor playing life. You are the one life. Always have been, always will be. Just your thoughts tell you something different. Love anyway. I had to see this for myself when I experienced it with Sherry. I experienced going, well, I need her to be with me. I need the family to be mine. I need that Ron should go away. I want. And guess what? The universe kept going, nope, that's not it. You're not choosing you, and you're not choosing to love her anyway. You're not loving the things she loves, the things she wants, the things she needs. You're making this into a problem. And then I didn't see my own self-resistance that showed up in my own self-abandonment, my own self-rejection, till I surrendered to it. And here we sit. That was then, this is now. I had to make my now accept everything. Doesn't mean that you have to accept the bullshit, but you have to learn that you have non-acceptance of the bullshit and accept that. Create no more resistance. If you don't flow in connection, you will disconnect from yourself. Mm. You will only start where you stopped, which means you will only be connected to yourself when you don't connect to yourself. You have to realize that being not connected to yourself is going to give you exactly that. Nobody else is going to connect to you either. And it's all created from thought. The connection will remain in the background until you're ready.
It really is that simple. It really is. If your twin is out there and seeing the why, but what about this? But what about this? But why? And then what do I do? What do I do? Why? That is showing or demonstrating disconnection.
It makes more sense. I'm going to attack this person. I'm going to attack them publicly. I'm going to point at all of their imperfections. I'm going to point at all the things that's wrong with them to make myself feel validated of how I'm being treated. Good for you. No. The body should not agree with that. And you know when you do it, you feel it on the inside. Everybody's seen that picture of Kermit the Frog and the answering thing. And I'm trying to tell you, that is true. That is your body trying to show you that what your mind is saying it's reacting to. You're not reacting to a person outside you. You're reacting to you on the inside of you. Why would you make yourself sick?
Looking for outside validation of what you have inside.
Mm. But what you have inside you don't accept. That will make you sick. Stop doing that. Realize that the resistance is internal, not external. Don't compare yourself to anything. Comparison is food for ego. Rejection is food for ego. Abandonment, food for ego. And none of it makes any sense. You are spiritually minded, but you do no worldly good. This one said this to me. And I said, oh, yeah. And then I said, oh, what's she talking about? And then I realized what she was saying was you can be in this world, but you don't have to be of it. And everybody hears that. Everybody hears that same message. But we ignore it. Too much noise. Too much noise. And that noise is there to give you what exactly? There's never a road path out of the noise because you only use 10% of it. And maybe the only reason we use 10% of it is because we haven't released finding ourselves inside of what the story is to find who we would be without it. I think, or I feel, that this message was important. Not because of who Lee and Sherry represent to you if you've been watching this, but to who you are on the inside. What you really need to ask yourself, are you consciously aware? And if you are, does consciousness mean attacking yourself or others? There's a child inside of you that needs your attention. It stopped growing at different points in your life of things that happened, and you never made sense of it, so you wanted to make sense of the world. The world doesn't need that from you. You need that for yourself. Then you'll change the world. Anything?
Oh, said it beautiful.
Bye, Felicia.
You did not say bye, Felicia.